Bill Clinton going after Bernie Sanders. This first program on the new format, as is very apparent and obvious at this point, is pretty much centered and focused on the past few days um, political bullshit that has been ricocheting around this country on the Democratic side. The Republican side, fuck them. I mean, it's ridiculous to even talk about these clowns, all of them. I'm talking about every single Republican that has declared that he or, don't forget me, yes, Carly, he or she is running for president. Um, what you hear from that group is nothing but unmitigated bullshit. So I decided a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, I don't know, as you well know, that I no more want to provide any information about these thugs than I want to open up a vein. Now that'll change when, and it does change occasionally, when these assholes say things that are just so ridiculous that it bears repeating for the ridiculousness value, not because I see them as potential or even viable leaders of this fucked up country. Well, no, let me take it back. They would be good leaders of a fucked up country, but if we've had enough of that, and I think we have, then why listen to their gibberish? Because it doesn't changes. It doesn't change. It's the same stuff over and over and over again. They are. I don't want to get into it. So that's the reason. The focus, for the most part, I hope, will be on the attacks on Bernie Sanders and the resistance of the Sanders campaign to all this bullshit out here that is slowly eating the country alive. And over the weekend, or the past few days, the attacks on Bernie Sanders by the big dog have been unrelenting, and they've just I mean, Bill Clinton must get to a point where he thinks to himself, fuck Hillary. I've been on my knees, so to speak, for the past 20 years, begging your forgiveness for all the bullshit that I committed over all those years with all those women. When can I get up off my knees and stand up like a man again? Right? Now, putting it that way, of course, makes me a sexist, but I just get the feeling that Bill Clinton has been handed, like Hillary Clinton is a priest, and told him, all right, you've made your confession. Here's what you have to do for me to, what would be expiate your guilt, your sins, Forget the Hail Marys and the novenas and the Our Fathers and all that happy horse shit. Here's what you're going to have to do for me, Bill Clinton, for the next 20 goddamn years, or until I am elected president. She didn't know it was going to be 20 years. Then the Negro from Chicago popped up out of the bushes and, oh, Lord, they're playing the race card. So I think Hillary made it very clear to him. Until your dying fucking day, Bill, you're going to do nothing but work to get me elected president. That's what it's going to cost you for that little blowjob you got from Monica. That's what it's going to take. And poor Bill, son of a bitch, Hill, I don't, hell, it wasn't even that good. Oh, dear Jesus. So what Bill Clinton is doing is fulfilling his part of the contract. And his part of the contract said that he had one goal, well, two actually, get her elected president and get their asses out of debt. Money, 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 and power. So I don't, I can fully understand Bill Clinton's obsession with getting Hillary elected and then making all that money. We gave speeches, any goddamn person to listen. Hell, I for $500,000, I'd give a speech to doghouse makers. I don't give a fuck. Just show me the money, brother. Show me the money. Clinton said in his little smarmy way of deriding Sanders' oft-mentioned call for a political revolution, Clinton said, quote, when you're making a revolution, you can't be too careful with the facts. God damn, and Forrest Stan, really, Bill? Um, what happened was on Sunday, yesterday, Clinton was going to give a speech in New Hampshire. So he went to Milford, New Hampshire. And who turned out? According to the New York Times, which is sympathetic to Hillary. As a matter of fact, I think they've endorsed Hillary, haven't they? Well, they haven't endorsed her, but they've endorsed her in the primary, I believe. Hope I don't have that wrong. But the New York Times, being the New York Times, what are they going to do? They're going to endorse Bernie Sanders? Fuck no. So anyway, the way the Times describes Bill Clinton's little Sunday afternoon soiree the other day is a few hundred supporters showed up at a junior high school. Ooh, a few hundred. Okay. And at that little afternoon event, Clinton said that Sanders was hypocritical and hermetically sealed, and dishonest. I'll be a son of a bitch. I would call that a perfect, wouldn't you? I mean, God damn it, for real. Wouldn't you call that a perfect thumbnail sketch and definition of Hillary Clinton? Hypocritical to the highest fucking degree. You don't go take $750,000 over the past year, whatever it's been, from these predators on Wall Street and then come out and talk about how, well, we got to do something about the millionaires and billionaires. Oh, bullshit. So hypocritical, that describes his wife. Hermetically sealed, like in an airtight package. I don't think Bernie Sanders is hermetically sealed. Do you? I mean, he. Can you imagine if never mind. And dishonest. He describes Bernie Sanders as dishonest. If there's one word that could be used authentically to describe Bernie Sanders, wouldn't it be honest? Maybe, as your grandma used to say, to a fault. So honest that it may come back to bite him on the ass because he is honest. He doesn't back away from his self-imposed definition of a democratic socialist. He doesn't back away from his positions on issues critical to all of us in this country. Dishonest? Oh, fuck you, Bill. You're the one who's dishonest, and your wife. I mean, give me a fucking break here. The Times goes on to say that Clinton even likened an incident last year. Remember that event where a Sanders operative someone who's on the Sanders Commission, inadvertently obtained access to Clinton campaign voter data? And how Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the head of the DNC, and somebody who would do anything Hillary Clinton asked her to do, she tried to make such a big goddamn deal out of it. Oh my God, they looked into the Clinton data playbook. Oh, son of a bitch. As if that matters to the Sanders campaign, even if it did happen, which it turns out it didn't. But you remember that? Well, yesterday, the big dog is bringing it up again. And he said it was the same thing as stealing a car. You're walking down the street, you see a car with the keys to the ignition, you say, oh, fuck it, I'm going to steal it. That's what he's saying, that inappropriate and yet non-effective breach of the Clinton campaign data, Sanders was available too. That somehow, oh, goddamn, oh, he stole the car. Clinton talked about all this bullshit for 50 minutes, according to Times. And the longer he spoke, the harder an edge what he was saying took on. In other words, the more caustic and vicious and nasty he got about Sanders. And the Times puts it this way: what began as a testimonial to Mrs. Clinton's leadership, yeah, and a statesmanlike, on Bill's part, lecture on her approach to issues, evolved into an angrier recitation of grievances against Mr. Sanders and his fervent supporters. Clinton said, "Anybody that doesn't agree with me is a tool of the establishment, so says Bernie Sanders," mocking what he described as the central critique of Hillary Clinton by Bernie Sanders. As if Sanders says anybody who doesn't agree with me is a tool of the establishment. He's never said that. He's never fucking once said that. Ever. But it doesn't make any difference. You're talking about Bill Clinton, the lying son of a bitch who couldn't clean up his girlfriend's dress after he came all over it. That guy. So Bill Clinton's comments, according to Times, represent an escalation in the language that he and Hillary Clinton are using to attack Sanders, who maintains this sizable advantage in the polls in New Hampshire. Well, God damn it, you know my feeling about this. If the Clinton campaign and Bill and Hillary are so convinced they have a lock on the black vote in this country, that's what they'll tell you. God damn, I'm the first black president. If they're so convinced about that, then why not just fuck New Hampshire? Why not just walk away from New Hampshire? Or just stay in it. I'm not talking about withdraw from the primary. Go ahead and stay in it. But what difference does it make? What if, according to the Clintons, what difference does it make if Bernie comes up with 65% of the vote and she gets 35? Who the fuck cares? To them. Because they have all the Negroes in America locked down. They've got the black vote. Bernie Sanders could never get the black vote. But if you refer to the feminist vote, you're a sexist pig. Now, you can talk about the black vote until hell freezes over and you're not a racist. Okay. Oh, God. And back in 2008, Bill Clinton made headlines, for fiercely defending Hillary and coming up with all that tough-ass language against Senator Barack Obama. And so far in this campaign, he hasn't unleashed that aspect of the Bill Clinton personality, but it's starting to come out now. He's a vicious son of a bitch. He really is, especially given his role in Hillary Clinton's life. I mean, it's one thing for a man or a woman to cheat on their spouse. Okay, shit happens. So somehow, within the family, you deal with it. You either deal with it with a divorce, you deal with it with forgiveness, you deal with however you deal with it. But because that crazy psycho bitch who was whispering into Monica Lewinsky's ear, "Oh, don't lose the dress that he came all over. Don't, man." The operatives are Republicans. Of course, Bill Clinton's a dumb shit for having done this. But next thing you know, all this personal drama inside the Clintons' life, kaboom, and we all have to deal with it. We have to deal with one of the nation's leading pornographers, that sick fuck Ken Starr. The Starr Report, remember any of that? Of course you do. I know we're all trying to forget. But all of that shit exploded because Bill Clinton couldn't keep his dick in his pants, right? So for all these years, this poor, miserable bastard has been following Hillary around on his hands and knees, "Oh, please, honey, I'll do whatever it takes. You want me to raise money? You want to form the Clinton Initiative? Shit, we'll do all that, man. I'll get you tens of millions. Hell, I'll get you hundreds. You want to be president? All right. I'm going to do everything I can to make you president. But listen, please forgive me and get your goddamn Secret Service detail off my ass, honey, all right? I know you don't like to do it anymore, but I still do. Shit, what do you want me to do?" You think that goes on? I do. So he attacks Barack Obama, and I don't know, it turns out Barack Obama was either a liar or promised things he couldn't deliver on. Either way, it didn't work out. But for the Clintons, for either one of the Clintons to refer to anybody in the political theater or political realm as a liar is a fucking joke of the highest order. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, are you serious? You're calling somebody else a liar?